Welcome to What My Grandkids Call Me. And here we celebrate grandmas and highlight grandma's names. So I think I remember. What are you called?
Carol. They call me by my first name.
Oh, I think I remembered that
I
because
met them before I married their grandfather, so it was a little awkward to change to grandma. So, but they refer to me as grandma or nana, but they call me Carol.
I'm going to put Carol.
Okay.
All right. So behind me is the wall of all the grandmas I've spoken to so far.
Wonderful.
It's so cool.
You really do. You've made this a mountain of a project.
I know, and it was just a little project when I started. I was just collecting names. And
And
now,
here you
then I
go.
wanted to do the magazine, which is still in progress.
Yeah, COVID
And
screwed that up.
then I know. And then somebody said, well, instead of just doing it on Facebook, why don't you do it on YouTube? But in order to do it on YouTube, I have to get hundreds of grandmas on Zoom first, and then we put it on YouTube.
What are you going to do?
We're
Well,
gonna
well,
have a
like
grandma station.
the grandma station on YouTube.
Yeah, absolutely. Isn't that cool?
Oh, too funny for words.
I know. But I met a guy. Carol, amazing producer, and he suggested that this would be phenomenal. And I said,
Really?
well, if you help me do it, because I'm a kindergarten teacher and you have to start with A, I'll do it. And he said, okay, I'll help you.
Really? Oh, how nice.
So that's how I got started doing these Zooms. So I've done all these Zooms, and I have to do
Incredible.
at least 100, and then we'll be able to upload the channel.
Okay.
Cool, right?
So it's fabulous. Yeah, you're amazing. I
Thank
thought you
you.
were amazing enough with the gifts and the photos. Now you're going way overboard.
I love you, girl. So tell me now, I know the story already, but tell me the story of your becoming a grandma.
Well, I met my husband picked me up on the street on 98th Street in New York City. My mother had been admitted to the hospital. She had me running back and forth to get her stuff in the local store.
Okay.
And I saw this construction worker and he waved at me and I waved back. And I went out several times back and forth for the stuff my mother wanted. And when I was leaving that afternoon, he ran across the street and asked me for my phone number. And I thought, if anybody sees me giving my phone number to a construction worker, I mean, I was the associate director of nursing at Mount Sinai, but he was the cutest. He had dimples, blue eyes, and an Irish accent.
Oh
What
my
more could you
goodness.
ask for? So
Wonderful.
I gave him my phone number. He called me about a week later and was surprised I recognized his voice with his thick accent. And my mother was still in the hospital, so I put him off. And we finally had a date. I guess it was 2 weeks after that. And the rest is history. I just
Oh,
fell. But I was 49 when this happened.
oh my.
He had two children but had never married. So neither of us had married before. He was 52. He just came over to America to get some money to finish his house in Ireland.
Oh, okay.
He had a son and a daughter, and his daughter at that point had 5 children.
Oh my.
So that was in 1988. He stayed until 1992 and 91. He had to go back, because of immigration stuff. So
Mm-hmm.
he went back, and I went over twice and met the family and blah, blah, blah. And he asked me to marry him in Ireland. Then he came back to New York and we got married by a justice of the peace in Yonkers.
Oh, how
And
romantic.
I know. He, as I said, I met the children. before we were married, some of the children, I mean, some of them were still infants, or, little.
Right.
And then she had two more children. We got married in 92, and she had another one in 93 and another one in 95, I guess. So he had a small stroke in 1995, and he wanted to go home. So I had retired already from my job at Mount Sinai. As a matter of fact, they eliminated my job, so I had to retire happily, and so I could
So you went
leave.
back to Ireland, yeah.
So we moved to Ireland in '96.
Wow.
He had a stroke. Well, he had the stroke in '95, and we moved over in June of '96. We had a house there already. And it was in a small village, I guess about 350 people. So
Wow.
everybody knew him. He grew up there in
Yeah.
a small community. Everybody knew him. And of course, they referred to me as the Yank. Um, but they were very accepting. They're just absolutely
Oh,
lovely
that's
people.
wonderful.
It took me a while to adjust, going from New York City to a small Irish village.
Absolutely.
Little mind-boggling. I was reading the newspaper and it was in English, and I thought, I'm having such a hard time understanding what I'm reading. But they would throw in an Irish word every once in a while and refer to things in the past that I didn't know about. So it took me a good 6 months to acclimate, really.
Okay.
Of course, the accents and the television, there was a lot of British accents and Irish
Right.
accents, and I had a lot of headaches trying to understand.
I bet. I
E-
can
Even
imagine.
even talking to people, they talk faster in Ireland than they do in New York, and New York is kind of known for talking fast.
Really?
And a lot of people talk down, so it was really a struggle. One of his nephews, I had such a hard time understanding him. I used to have to stop him and say, "What did you say? What did you say? What did you say?" Yeah, it took a good 6 months, but then I got very involved. I was on the community council, and
Oh, sounds like you.
I worked in the tourist office. And I was very computer literate when I moved over, and a lot of people there weren't. So they
Oh,
thought
okay.
they thought I was a genius, that
Oh,
I could do all
yeah.
this computer stuff.
Good pointers.
One of my Because I was on the community council, we had a local newspaper, and one of my friends there said, "If I see your picture in the newspaper one more time, I'm going to absolutely scream." So
I love it.
that was great. And of course, being able to spend time with the children. The four younger children came down and spent a lot of time with us. We took them to we took them to where did we take them? We took them to a park in Wales.
Uh-huh.
Took them to Dublin. After my husband died, I took them to Paris Disneyland. That was
Oh,
really.
oh, that was wonderful.
Yeah, we really got very close, and I'm still close to them. I hear from them
Great, great.
frequently, particularly one granddaughter. I'm very close to she's the um, second youngest. There's a younger boy, and he's
Uh-huh.
been here too. Four of the kids have been here in Florida,
Oh, okay.
and they all keep threatening to come over.
Come on down.
Come on down. Right, exactly, exactly. Now, you're not going to post all this on Zoom, are you?
My producer will delete what he thinks he might leave it on. It sounds wonderful to me.
Yeah.
That's a
What
great story of
a
how,
wonderful love story. Yeah.
yeah, I mean, it's absolutely beautiful. It could be a movie in
Yeah.
itself.
I know a lot of people tell me that, right? Yeah. Meeting him on the street and picking me up on the street.
I know, yeah.
And as I said, if anybody had seen me, I think I would have died. And it was funny because even after that, I would be walking outside the hospital and he was still working on this building across the street. So I would see him, but I wouldn't acknowledge him.
That is so funny.
being such a snob, you know.
I love it. A New Yorker. That's what you were, being just
A
a New
New
Yorker.
a New Yorker, yeah, absolutely, yeah.
Oh my goodness, thank you. Oh my goodness, I love that story. And I would like for it, the whole thing, to be on. So I'm gonna suggest that. I'm gonna suggest that. So now the last question is, and I've asked you this before for the book that's gonna come out, but if you had one sentence to say about how the grandkids make you feel, particularly those young ones, because those were the ones that you got to see growing up.
Absolutely, yeah.
Yeah. What would the
I
one sentence be?
I think, I've said this to other people, is I've missed all the difficulties of being a parent, but I
Hmm.
have all the joys of being a grandparent.
Oh, that's perfect. And that's Miss Carol. And she's grandma, and she has all the joys of being a grandparent. Oh my gosh. Thank you, Miss Carol, for joining us today.
But you're quite welcome, my dear. Nice to see you.
It's always good to see you. And I will see you as soon as I can get out of this Zoom and we can go somewhere. We'll do dinner, lunch, something.
Something. Okay.
All
Take good care.
right,
Stay
you too.
safe. Stay
You
safe.
too. Thanks a lot,
Okay.
Carol.
You're welcome. Bye-bye.
Bye bye. That was perfect. So that was Miss Carol. And we did put Carol up. And that was perfect. Thank you for being with us. Remember, loving grandkids is priceless, no matter what they call us. Bye.